What you see in here and help spread the word to friends and family so that more people can enjoy the history of our sporting community. At this time, we'd like to welcome the Vice President of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame, Liz Bassinger, for a few words. Liz.
Can you hear me? Yes? Obviously, I'm subbing in for Gil Rockeneer, who is unable to be here today. But on behalf of the board, I welcome everyone to the 5th inductee announcement of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame. Through the dedicated work of our board, we have continued since 2017 with our mission of collecting, preserving, and exhibiting the sports history of Cobourg and District.
Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful to be here on behalf of the Government of Ontario to acknowledge inductees and to say a few words. I think back fondly to 2017, 18, 19. It would be 2018 to be precise that I had a conversation with Ross Quigley about the Cobourg Sports Hall of Fame, about the memorabilia, sharing some interesting tidbits from the past, and I said, well, why don't you come to my office and we'll chat? And then I think literally the next day I walk in, and there he is, seated before me, to talk about the Hall of Fame. And I always mention him because he leaves a legacy, and a legacy that will far outlive his years. And I think at its core, I mean, that's what any of us want, is to leave a legacy behind. And boy, what a fine legacy he leaves. Looking back at the back there, seeing the sports tells our history as a community. We learn so much on the sports field about winning, and more importantly, about losing with grace. So I think, I'm very grateful for the board, for all that they've done, for acknowledging excellence in our community, and very grateful to have not been roasted by Joel this year here as well. So thank you. That's at the dinner. Okay. So thank you for everyone for the support, and again, a big thank you to the board for ensuring sports is proudly recognized in our community. Thank you very much for having me.
This will have to do. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yogi Berra once said that 90% of the game is half mental. And he claimed after that that truer words were never spoken. But I'd like to say that the other half of that is that it's the spirit and the heart of each athlete that goes into each of their activities. On behalf of the Mayor and Council and staff of Hamilton Township, we'd like to welcome you here today at the beautiful Cobourg Arena and Rec Center. And we are pleased to welcome this year's Cobourg and District Sports Hall of Fame, and specifically to honor our four Hall of Famers who have roots in Hamilton Township, especially Neil Kane, Al Burnham, Roger Cole, and Gail John Weiss. We're here to celebrate their athletic abilities, their talents, their endurance, sore muscles, and spirit. Although many people here will be acknowledging their past performances, I'd like to thank them for what they gave us, the hometown crowd, bragging rights. each home run, each goal, each race. And we were there for them, yelling, clapping, bell ringing, blowing the horns. And our adrenaline level was as high as theirs sometimes, I think. But to them and to each of their team, their winning spirit, and most importantly, they brought us a heightened sense of community pride. And at the end of each game, or at the end of the finish line, we were proud of our hometown all-stars. And that's Al Burham, the Iceman, Roger Cole, the best pitcher that was pitching between Oshawa and Kingston, and Gail John Reese, sprinter, gold medalist, and marathon runner. And of course, Neil Kane, the all-around athlete who helped make the Baltimore Rec Center and arenas what they are today. I don't think people understand the kind of significance that Neil had in this facility. He was here night and day to make it all happen. And to each of the inductees, we honor and celebrate their achievements. You are our hometown heroes. Thank you.
With that same commitment and talent and approach, I also would like to recognize at this point, because sitting in this audience today, I see all of the silent.
It also had an impact on his fine motor skills, gross motor skills, and oral motor functioning. Frank's CT affected both of his legs and his right arm, forcing him to use a wheelchair. Making his subsequent accomplishments all the more impressive was Frank being able to use only his left arm to propel his wheelchair, while his competitors had to use both of their arms. Frank was inducted into the Ontario Cerebral Palsy Sports Hall of Fame in 1990, and he's a proud member of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame. Paul Corelli was instrumental in the founding of the Cobourg Girls Softball League in 1963. That same year, he coached the Coverdale Aces, the prelude to the Cobourg Angels Girls Softball Association. These teams went on to win 5 Ontario championships, along with numerous tournaments and league championships against teams from much larger centers, all under Paul's tutelage. In 1926, Fred Dupton, along with his family, moved to Cobourg. With his sons playing high school football, Fred became involved in the sport's team's management. After his boys graduated, Fred decided in 1935 to start up an intermediate football team. 2 years later, the Cobourg Galloping Ghosts were born. Over the next 13 years, the Ghosts, managed by Fred, would win a total of 8 Ontario championships and become from one sports legend to another. Leighton Dodge was born in Cobourg on March 4th, 1937. After high school, he joined the staff of the Cobourg Sentinel Star as sports writer and publisher until his final column, October 8, 1996. Leighton covered most sports in Cobourg and surrounding communities with love, diligence, integrity, and honesty. To say the local sporting community was lucky to have him would be a gross understatement. An integral part of the fabric of Cobourg, Leighton epitomized small-town sports writing, and his impact on our community was immense. And he's a proud member of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame. An outstanding all-around athlete, Don Ito found his athletic calling as a competitive kite flyer. In 1966, he captured the Canadian National Championships and finished second overall at the U.S. Nationals. The following year saw him take first place at the U.S. Nationals, and the same year he set a new world record in the tricks competition in Montreal on his way to capturing the North American Championship. In 1969, Don repeated his success, once again taking first place at the U.S. Nationals, as well as the North American Championship. The next year, Don once again won the tricks division at the U.S. Nationals, and in 1971, he once again finished first overall in the senior men's division, and he's a proud member of the Sports Hall of Fame. Gold both times, voted ISC All-World 8 times. Marty was elected to the ISC Fastball Hall of Fame in 2002, and he's a proud member of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame. Bill O'Neill was a unique individual, a true gentleman. He gave back far more to the sporting community than he ever took. A treasured volunteer, Bill served as a treasurer with the Cobourg Men's Softball League. As a field manager, Bill was noted for his calm demeanor during his 19-year coaching tenure with the Cobourg Men's Softball League, as well as 4 OASA juvenile B teams during the 70s. In recognition of his contribution to the sport, Bill was presented by the Ontario Amateur Association with the FR Frank Fever Trophy as Ontario's Mr. Softball, and he's a proud member of the Cobourg District Sports Hall of Fame. Steve Smith was born in Glasgow, Scotland, and moved to Cobourg at an early age. Success in hockey never came easy to Steve. Overcoming many obstacles, Steve made the Junior A London Knights as a walk-on at an open camp. In 1981, he was selected with the 111th choice in the NHL entry draft by the Edmonton Oilers. Steve went on to become a stalwart defenseman in the NHL, eventually playing in 804 career games, scoring 72 goals, 303 assists, and tallying up 375 points, all while winning 3 Stanley Cups in 1987, 1988, and 1990. And he also took home a Canada Cup in 1991, and he's a proud member of the Cobourg District